folks, Dr. Lei Wang here. Have you ever moved to a new place and you're just really nervous with all the transitions and wanting to process that with the therapist that you already have, but then all of a sudden your therapist drops the bomb on you and says, oh, like you're going to have to find a new therapist in your area. I recently also had to turn away some people because they are not located in the state of Pennsylvania. The reason being is that counselors, social workers, psychologists, our licenses are usually tied to specific states, and so it would be against the law for us to practice if our clients moved outside of the state. And so that might be what's going on and why your therapist is encouraging you to find somebody in your area. And so today we're going to talk about two things that I'm very excited about. They're mainly products of COVID and just the fields of counseling and psychology really trying to adapt to modern life, that people do move around a lot, especially if you're seeing someone over telehealth. You're more likely to want that flexibility and not have to find a new therapist every time you are located in a different area. So let's hop into it and see what's up.
For Counseling Compact. It is basically a passport for licensed professional counselors to be able to practice in states that have signed this compact together. As you can see, here's an interactive map of which states have not introduced this legislation. Also the legislation that has been enacted, there's pending. Here is the full list of states. And so if you are seeing a licensed professional counselor in one of these states and move to another state that's on this list, that means you can still see the same counselor. You can ask your counselor about this because even if they do have a counseling compact, they may not feel comfortable seeing folks in certain states because they're not familiar with the laws there. So you definitely want to ask, but this allows the flexibility for them to see you if you maybe are on vacation in some of these states, or if you're moving to those states for work, for school. Similarly, for psychologists, there is this thing called Psych Pact. So again, it is states signing this pact, acknowledging that psychologists who hold their license plus Psych Pact can see clients in any of the other states that have joined this Psych Pact. There are 39 states that have enacted it, and 35 of them are effective right now. For a full list of states, you can see here. So similarly to Counseling Compact, if you happen to know that you might be traveling between some of these states, it can be really helpful to find a psychologist who is not just licensed, but also has Psych Pact. Sometimes the psychologists will advertise that on their websites or on Psychology Today. Sometimes you just have to ask them if they have that, or you can even ask your provider if they are open to applying for Counseling Compact or Psych Pact so that they can continue seeing you if you move to one of these states. And if your provider falls outside of the jurisdiction of Counseling Compact or Psych Pact, then that would mean that they would also have to be licensed in this other state, such as California, in order to be able to continue to see you if you happen to move to California. But having these agreements among states can be really useful because it does allow flexibility for your provider and yourself.
Hopefully with that information about Counseling Compact and Psych Pact, you feel a little bit more prepared when it comes to looking for a therapist who can meet your needs if you are someone who moves around a lot and need that bit of a flexibility so that you don't have to find a new therapist every time you go somewhere new.